Wasabi gangsters, it's me, Chance Dillon, here to talk to you about books and reading. All right, so big updates actually on reading, which is actually, I feel pretty good about all things considered. I'm about 30% of the way through Empire of the Damned. This is one that I'm doing on audio and physically, and so I am able to get a little bit of both done more regularly, so I feel like I'm moving through this faster than I moved through the Malazan book. Told the Hounds last week. I mean, considering that book was almost 400,000 words, I think this one feels a bit faster, just all things considered, you know. Thoroughly enjoying this. I think it's weird. I'm reading this one faster than Empire of the Vampire. I think I liked, up to this point, like the 30% mark, I think I was liking Empire of the Vampire more. Not that this is bad or anything. I'm just, like, if I had to put the two up against each other, I would probably say up to this point, I enjoyed Empire of the Vampire more, even though I was very slowly moving through that one. This one, I'm moving very faster. I'm enjoying it, again, very thoroughly. And the things that we're seeing so far with our characters and the interactions between the vampires and our main character and those people around him and how those relationships are developing and just seeing different sides of these characters in this book. And the ever-shifting goals, and, you know, they get to some place and it's like, oh, oops, you know, and I actually really love the way the battle scenes are written in this book, and again, the prose, like Jay Kristoff's prose, I seriously love. I am going to the signing event here in New York. I think Daniel Green's going to be there, and I just love this edition of the book. Oh, and so I'm going to see Jay Kristoff and a few other New York reading folks at that event. So if you're going, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to run through a quick book haul. That's the only reading that I was able to get done. There's a lot on the working/writing side this week. So we have Dust of Dreams here. I picked that up. That is going to be, I really want to read Shadows of Upon Time before the gala. If I'm going to be realistic, because the gala's in November. Right now we're at the end of October. If I'm going to be realistic with myself, I think I might be better served doing the short stories and then moving to something either like Dust of Dreams or going right into Shadows Upon Time, depending how fast I move through those short stories. I also have a bunch of novellas that I really want to read, so maybe I'll just spend some time doing that to just buy some time leading up to the gala. No other news on the Invisible Life of Adie LaRue. Again, my reading time has been less and less, and I should be listening to it on audio. In fact, I'm going to do more of that this week. I'm going to set my intention on that this coming week, and I'm going to do a little bit more of the Adie LaRue story as well, in addition to continuing Empire of the Damned. Hopefully, I'm going to break a little bit more ground. I expect to be a little over halfway by next week's report to you all. But yeah, so let's move into the writing stuff. If you're just here for the reading, I know it was short and brief today, but that's where we're at. We're around Halloween time, so I figured Empire of the Damned was actually a pretty good read for this month. So, writing. Ill is the Fate I got back beginning of last week. I was at about chapter 5 at this point last week. I'm through 16 chapters now. If you guys are going to read my newsletter, I wrote it before I did another chapter, so there's some updates there. But no, actually that's not true. I finished. So we're down in word count. If you guys follow my newsletter or my Patreon, you'll see the exact word count that we're at. I'm down in word count from last week, which is good, all things considered, because we did some adding. So with adding, became cutting, and the fact that my word count overall net is down from last week, I feel like is a lot of progress for me. I'm finding it very hard to cut things out. It's just mostly, there's like simple little prose things that I have to hone in on. And I think in any time where I get into a developmental edit, that's seems to be a consistent thing for me to really focus on, which is good. You know, it really helps me focus on what is important. The story element things, there's some, today, for example, I had a character that disappeared for, 3 or 4 different perspectives of this whole thing, so I had to go back and add sentences in to fit that person in because they're important, and also because I was just wow, how did they not get in there? It's well, actively they're not really super active in that scene, so I do have to fit them in there, so I went back and did that. So there's a bunch of that going on. Overall, I reworked a particular scene between two characters, sort of to within the first 180 some odd pages, to provide a little bit more context as to like specific goals as to what these characters are going for and what they're shooting for. Simply because we have so many perspectives and you only have so many pages, and word count, it's fitting it all in. And I'm finding that I'm enjoying this process so much. I think whenever I go through edits and I'm learning, it's like I'm very addicted to process and very addicted to learning, and I feel like in this time I am doing so much learning that I'm going through and actively making these changes and adjustments to the story elements. And so it's going as smooth as it can. I'm going to try to really focus this weekend, crank down, get a bunch of chapters of revising done so I can really go through and do a once over before sending it back to Dave for our second pass of just like cutting some extra words and things of that nature that I really need to go and do. So that'll be, it's going to be an interesting time, all things considered. Now, I'm trying to think of BookTube things right now. There's really nothing crazy going on. I besides the gala and the book signing for Jay Kristoff, we are smooth sailing. So what have I been watching? Watching a lot of Suits on TV. I know I don't really talk about what I watched lately, but I'm on like season 7, some odd of Suits. I might have some time for Attack on Titan this weekend, so maybe I get to that and I can finally finish the 4th season of that. I've probably put it off about as long as it took for them to come out with those last several episodes. So this weekend might be a good time for me to burn some Attack on Titan because simply it's been so long. And maybe some Arcane. It's been a really long time since I've watched that. I'm about halfway through that 2nd season. I am really putting off watching TV on my own. So this weekend might be a good time for me to catch up on that. Otherwise, guys, that's all. That is all that I have for you this week. I know it's a simple, short 7-minuter, but yeah, go check out my newsletter. Go check out the Book Street Boys Discord down in the description below. You can go and join that. We hang out there, chat every week. And then we have... My newsletter has the first 4 chapters of Mercy, Tears of the Fallen, and the Blood Rebellion short story. So if you're still looking for some more Mercy, hopefully you are, that over there on my newsletter, you can get that on my Patreon as well. There's some art stuff coming in the near future here. I got some stuff back from Andrew Molesky that I'm really stoked about. So the Room Board members will be seeing that early, as well as the piece that Robert Trotia is working on, I believe, in the next couple of weeks. So that's all I got to say about that, guys. I'm going to do my quick 90-second short video. We're going to see how that looks. All right. Thanks for coming. Bye.